3. Hello Wolverine! So we're going to do another science experiment this week. This one is called Walking Water Rainbow. So just by looking at that title and the picture it gives us, we're going to see that we're going to be trying to create our very own rainbow. And now we've seen this done a few ways, and we probably have all done it a few ways. You can draw it on paper, you can use chalk, you can paint it, nature does it, and it's just, I don't know, they make us happy. So we're gonna try to make our own. In nature, it's done by water reflecting, or by light reflecting off water, and the light's all separating and creating all those different colors, like Mr. N2Y talked about a few weeks ago. So we all kind of know how that happens in nature already, but we're gonna see if we can make it with just water, food coloring, and paper towels. And it's gonna be kind of interesting because in order for that to happen, our water is going to have to travel against gravity and go up the paper towel into these empty cups. So I'm curious to see if we can do it. I've never done this before, but I bet we can. So let's look at what we know. So far we know some people paint pictures of rainbows to share happiness. We know that real rainbows are made by light interacting with water. We know water's liquid, and we know that water can move through certain materials. So that's our background knowledge. Now, in every science experiment, we have the same 5 steps. We're going to start with asking a question. What do you want to know? Then we're going to move to making a guess on how you might figure out that question and what the answer is going to be. Then we're going to move, and that's called our hypothesis. And then we're going to move to actually doing our experiment. Throughout that experiment, we're going to collect data and we're going to analyze it, and then finally we'll make a conclusion to see if our guess or our hypothesis was correct or not. And if it wasn't correct, what might be the reasons for that. So step 1 is asking our question. We're going to see, can water move from one container to another through paper towels? So you're going to make your guess or your hypothesis. You can choose, yes, I think it can move from paper. It can move from containers with just paper towels. No, it can't, or maybe it can. I don't really know. There's no wrong answer, so you guys can choose that one. The materials we need 5 clear plastic cups. I only have glass, and whatever works. They're all clear, and they're all the same size, so it should be okay. We need water, so I have a little pitcher of water with me. We need red food coloring. I have that right here. Here's my other cups. Red food coloring. We need a spoon. We need yellow food coloring, blue food coloring, and we need 4 paper towel sheets, each rolled up. So this is what they mean by rolled up, and I'll show you how to do that with one of them. I'm just gonna twist it up with the ends. Doesn't have to be anything special, just twist it up. So we need 4 of those. So I have all of those. And this is all we need. So now that we've made our hypothesis, we know what we need to do the experiment. Now we're going to start the experiment. So step 1, set 5 cups in a row. So I'm going to line these up nice and neat in a straight line. Let me get that stuff out the way. So we have our 5 cups all lined up in a row. Step 2, put water almost to the top into the 1st, 3rd, and 5th cup. So we're only filling up 3 cups. The first one, and it says to fill it almost to the top. The 3rd cup, which is our middle one. All right, and our 5th cup, which is the last one. So at this point, we should have 3 cups with water, the first, the middle, and the last, and 2 empty cups. So our next step is to put red food coloring into the water of the 1st cup. So I have my red, and I'm going to put quite a bit because I really want this water to be bright red. Okay, looks cool. You're going to stir it with a spoon, and I would advise having an extra paper towel around because you don't want this to drip on your counters. It can stain if you're not careful. So then we're going to put yellow food coloring into the middle cup. Okay, and you're gonna stir it up. And then finally, we're gonna put blue food coloring into the very last cup. So now all of our cups with water should have a color, red, yellow, and blue. And mix that up. Okay, we're done with that spoon. So now we're going to put the ends of one paper towel into the cup with the red water and into the second cup. So what that means is we're basically going to make a bridge between this red cup and this empty cup by putting each end in each. And then step 7, do the same with the empty cup and the yellow cup. So we're going to do this across every cup. We have 4 little bridges that we're going to make. Okay. And then last one. So you should see we have a paper towel going from every single cup. And now this is already happening. You can already see the water moving up the paper towels, so I have faith. And then finally, we're just gonna observe what happens. So you guys have a data sheet to organize your data. So right now you can answer this first question. How many cups had water at the beginning? So remember, our first, third, and our last cup had water in it. So how many? 1, 3, or 5? How many cups had water in it at the end? Well, we're not at the end yet, so we can't quite do that part yet, but we're gonna watch and continue to find out. And then this final question, what color was in the second cup? Right now there's no water in there, so we can't do that one yet, but we can wait and find out. So I'm gonna let these sit for about an hour, and I'm gonna do like a time-lapse video and see what happens over that hour. So let's find out. About an hour, and we can see that now they all have water in them and they are different colors. So we can continue filling out our data sheet, and it says how many cups had water in them at the end. You guys can answer that one. What color is the water in the second cup? So this one. I'm actually going to take these out so we can take a look at the cups. Like I said, careful not to get this on your countertop. And if you guys can hear that, that's my dog walking in the background, sorry. Okay, we don't need this. So our second cup, what color is in here? You guys can tell me. Red, yellow, or other? Alexa heard us, sorry. So now we've collected our data, we did our experiment, we're gonna find our conclusion. We're gonna figure out if what we guessed would happen, happened or not. So you guys can answer your questions on your worksheet. Did water move out of the first, third, and fifth cups? First, third, and fifth? Yes or no, or maybe. Question 2, what did the water travel through? Paper towels, the table, or air? And then question 3, was your guess correct? Was your hypothesis correct? All right, and so obviously the water did move, and it changed the color of these. So we have a full rainbow almost. We have red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And how this happened is a process called capillary action. It's the same way that plants, let me show you this plant. It's the same way that plants get water from their roots all the way to everywhere in the plant. The water works against gravity, and it spreads to different parts of the plant, or in this case, it spread through the whole entire paper towel and into the different cup. And so yeah, that's what we did. We learned how to make a rainbow with water and paper towels. We asked a question, can it travel? We made a hypothesis, yes or no. We did our experiment, and then we analyzed our data, and we took a look at what happened, and we made a conclusion of whether our hypothesis was correct or not. So there we go.